The following is a Just Green production brought to you by the Might Be News Network.
Hello, everybody. It's the week of May 13th, 2019. I am not Taylor Cooper.
Thank God.
But this still might be news to you. What's up, everybody?
He nailed it. He nailed it.
Well done.
Other people can do the intro. It is possible.
You're not the only one, Taylor.
Welcome to Might Be News. If you don't know me, my name is Steve. If you listen to the other shows on the network, I am on Might Be Brews with my boy John, who is also here with us tonight. What's up, John?
What's going on, everybody?
As always, we got co-host Kev.
Co-host Kev.
Co-host Kev. We got co-host Danny.
What's up?
Check out MightBeNewsS5E3. Find your new favorite podcasts. All kinds of podcasts out there. Might Be Sports out this week. New Novak and Franz came out this week. Hope you guys are listening. YouTube, all over YouTube, and Ask Alexa. So I have a Fire TV that has Alexa in it.
Yep.
Okay.
So I talked into my TV remote, said, play Might Be News Network, coming through on the TV.
That's so dope.
It plays, so whatever day you ask, it plays that
Most
podcast
current.
that was released that day.
That's so dope.
I did it to my TV Friday morning, and I got us, the Brews.
Nice. I got to do it for that. I got Novak and Franz because I just did it today before we got here.
Yep. Awesome.
So dope. That is so dope.
Keep paying attention because the Patreon page will be up soon. I think we're going to get a lot more information on that next week when Taylor is back. I don't have any new fresh information, but we'll check with Taylor when he gets back next week. Taylor, I hope you're enjoying your time in North Carolina.
I don't.
I get the feeling this might not be your most favorite episode, but we'll let that play out as it comes.
You definitely look like a penis.
So what are they doing? Taylor's, is Jackie going to...
Katie Bogeman's
Taylor's at
bridal
the gay
thing.
rights convention that's down there.
That's right.
Yep.
Yeah,
And it
they
begins.
asked him to be like the MC for the event
He's the voice. He's the
because he
voice.
looks like a penis.
But we might as well get into it. Danny, you got some good news?
You know what? I don't have good news. I don't have a point. I don't have a review because I don't have to because Taylor's not here and he's not going to make fun of me for not having anything.
Yeah, and we're going to do an hour and a half long episode.
Ooh,
We're just fuck them.
coming out
Fuck.
fire.
Yeah, I got some good news.
Hey, did you hear the news?
This better be good.
You want the good news or the bad news?
Give me the good stuff.
All right, Danny, what kind of good news we got this week?
All right, so don't really have too much good news. I do want to recognize a few people real quick. We've had some pretty bad news over the past week about a lot of incidents involving schools and guns. There's been a few school shootings. One person I wanted to talk about was Riley Howe. Riley Howe is a student at the University of North Carolina at Charlotte. Riley was in class when a gunman walked through the door and started shooting. Instead of running, he did run, but he charged the gunman, knocked him to his feet. So when the school officer got there, he was able to disarm the gunman. So he gave up his life and saved a whole bunch of lives.
Save the day.
So he's one guy that I wanted to talk about. Another student was 19-year-old Reed Paler of Midland, North Carolina. He was also one of the 4 students wounded in the attack. And he did the same exact thing. He charged after the gunman to help save the lives of his classmates.
That's crazy.
Could you do it? Could you do that?
I think I could actually.
I don't know if I would do it immediately. If like gunshots started going off, I don't know if I could if that would be my first instinct. I think I would duck, and I think if I gave myself a minute to compose myself and assess the situation, maybe I would try to do something. But I just can't imagine as soon as it happening that I would have that
Hear
ability.
gunshots and run towards them.
Yeah, right. It's incredible to think people can do that.
There's no way to know until you're in it.
I'm sure you're right.
Even as much as you can get trained, there's no way you can really know until shit's going down.
Let's try that on Taylor, like on the next show. Like somebody come in here with like a
Paintball gun?
Yeah, or something.
See, but I'm the type of guy that runs into a burning building when
True.
people are running out.
You were the one I thought of for sure at the table that would absolutely just run at somebody.
I probably would.
Yeah.
Like, because I'm the type of person, when I go out to eat with my family, the seat that I always sit at is facing the door, so I can see who's coming in and who's going out. I always know my surroundings, the closest exit, that type of stuff.
Honestly, if I had a gun, just had a gun and whatever, and I saw you charging me, I don't know what I would do.
I would be
I
scared.
really don't know what I would do. I don't know. But, yeah.
You got another one?
Yeah, there was another student, this one from the STEM School Highlands Ranch in Denver. This was Kendrick Costello. He was 18 years old, and he actually aspired to be a Marine. He knocked one of the two gunmen down in the STEM Academy shooting and helped hold him until police got there, but ended up passing away from his injuries.
Holy shit.
So let's end on a little bit of a bright side, goofy side, loopy side. Denver's doing big things.
That's what I hear.
They have legalized shrooms.
I don't know if
That's crazy.
I don't know what the terminology is. Is it actually legalized? I think it's decriminalized. Is that the same thing?
Decriminalized, and it's whatever
Psilocybin.
the chemical in it
Psilocybin,
that gives
yep.
people the effects from doing shrooms.
No, thank you.
I've never done them.
I was gonna say the same thing. I've never done shrooms, so I don't know what I'm missing or not missing.
I've heard it's weird to say that because it's a drug, but I hear it can help people with opioid, addiction and things like that. Oddly enough, it can help. People seem to think it can help like reprogram your brain.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So apparently Joe Rogan, he's been pretty loud about Denver legalizing this because he knows all the health benefits that mushrooms have.
Yep.
And he was saying that it's just such a huge step for people that can really do good off of this.
PTSD, things like that, I hear it can do wonders for. That's awesome.
The most drugs that I've done is weed. I've never done coke. I've never done anything else. If I had to pick one to try, it would probably be some sort of LSD, some sort of mushroom, something mind expanding, mind trippy. That's probably where I would go.
Usually when you hear stories of stuff like that, like mushrooms, I remember hearing a story where the guy's first mushroom trip, he was out like in the woods during a thunderstorm and climbed a tree and was just like part of like the branches moving in the wind and the rain and the sound, and was just an incredible experience for him. That just sounds wild to me. Like I can't imagine doing something like that.
Something that alters your reality to where you're not seeing what is really there. No thanks. No.
How would you like to see
no
a
thanks.
chair turn into 1,000 snakes?
Nope.
That's what would happen to me, I feel like. I would bug myself out and have a bad trip. Like that scares me that I would do that to myself.
Dude, that fucking line. I even forget what it's from. And he's like, well, what is a bad trip? Oh, it's from Bert Kreischer's stand-up. But he says, what's a bad trip? And he says, your orange is a head and you want to peel it.
Yeah, see, I've never done shrooms either, but that is something that, if it is legal, I mean, I'd give it a try.
I might try it. I also hear people microdose. So it's like very small amounts of it that doesn't completely change your perception of everything, but will at least fire some other parts of your brain.
Fuck that. I'm going all out.
Yeah.
I want to see trolls dancing in the corner of my house. I want to see actual legs grow on my tables and walk through my living room.
Yeah, I've like people who need to be really productive, like computer programmers. I've heard they'll microdose this stuff and then they can just get lost in this world of coding for hours. I don't know.
I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah, I don't know about the microdosing. I feel like if I did do it though, I'd need some sort of spirit guide a drug
Yeah,
spirit.
I would
guy.
need a guy.
You would need an experienced vet to
Yeah.
get
Absolutely.
loopy with you on shrooms.
At least the first
Don't
time.
worry, Steve. Let it happen. The
Yeah,
trolls are here and they're good. They're our friends.
That's a good point. I think I would
some
need
sort
that.
of guide. Cool.
That's no.
I've got one
no
more
thanks.
good news story, actually.
Oh, John's
Go ahead.
got a little.
I have a
good
beer
news.
I'm going to drink right now.
I'll get on it. We can kind of delve into the Might Be Brews a little
Is
bit.
this a collaboration?
It might be Bruce right now.
It's a little bit. It's more.
What the fuck is that?
Wow, it's red.
This is a. I just picked this up from a.
It looks like fruit punch.
This is a collab between Evil Twin
Hmm.
and Equilibrium.
There's a face, Kev.
Oh, and that was just me smelling it.
It's called Blueberry Boy, and it's a triple IPA with blueberries.
Awesome. I just finished up a King Sue that John brought down from New York.
Shit was delicious.
It was delightful.
I love that beer.
Kev's giving the blueberry IPA a little try here. Let's see what we got.
I gotta
It's
see.
not bad.
I was
That
waiting
is
for- I was waiting for
really.
Kev's reaction.
That's good.
I was surprised how much I liked it. I had it on tap, like a sample of it, before I bought the 4-pack.
Nah.
That's not bad.
So now what are you tasting? Are you tasting beer? Are you tasting fruit?
I'm
Are you
tasting-
tasting IPA?
Bitter sweet.
That's a good combination.
Danny, would you pass that down to Steve? Do you mind? This guy right here?
Yeah, let's give it a
Let him.
try
I
here.
want him to get a little try of that. You know, I don't want to get too nerdy on a show like this, but
Taylor,
I feel like
come back.
the
Taylor, I miss you.
what do you call it? It's a little. There's a slight hint of booziness because it's 11%, but
Yeah.
I feel like
It's
it
absolutely.
balances out with the blueberry. Sorry,
Yeah, it's definitely a bittersweet.
So is it an IPA?
triple IPA. It's 11%.
I'm getting boozy, but I'm not getting a lot of hoppiness, and I wonder if it's still a little cold.
It's not hoppy at all.
I think there's some hoppiness in there, but
I just-
but it's hidden well.
I just got a little hop burp, so it was in.
Yeah, it's in there.
in there.
It's well hot hidden. All right, let's talk about something else so we don't bore everybody. That's for another show.
All right.
else we got?
What did everybody do this weekend or this week?
I just had a busy week at work, and I was just swamped up. I got here for Might Be Sports, so that was fun. We got to talk a little puck.
Puck.
Puck
Dude,
with,
this guy's
with Kevin
killing
Reavy.
me. This guy's killing me with this hockey.
Do you want to go into it right now? Do you want to get on it, or do you want to hold off?
No, because it's all personal preference, and I totally get it. It is 100% personal preference, but it really grinds my gears.
Let's back up and tell people who don't know what we're talking about.
So
Kevin Reavy on
Kevin
Might Be
Reavy,
Sports.
he's not a hockey fan. He's not a hockey fan, which I can respect that because hockey's not for everybody. But he says that puck and how can you watch a sport where half of the teams get in the playoffs and it's so long and it goes on forever. I just don't understand how he can sit there and say that, because I just take offense to it because it's my favorite sport. It's my favorite sport. No offense to him whatsoever because it's all personal preference, but his points don't make sense because I guess he's a basketball fan going to basketball playoffs. How many teams are in the NBA? 30. How many teams make the playoffs? 16. How many games are in a series of basketball? It's best out of 7. It's the same exact thing as hockey. It's just that's the only thing that bothers me, that he's sitting there saying that. But
And they're
For him-
cheating because they get a bigger net.
yeah, and it's not as exciting when they score a point because it happens 100 times a game.
That's what's my
Per team.
argument for it. Especially once you get into the NHL playoffs, each goal is worth so
much.
I mean, that one goal can change the game.
You're absolutely right.
I'm not a Dallas fan, but I stayed up till 12:45 in the morning the other morning watching the Dallas Stars
Get the hell out of here, really?
Game 7 playoff game.
No shit. Good for you.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So my buddy Max from the 610 Vape Den, he's a huge Dallas fan. So him and I were chatting back and forth, during the game.
No shit.
Wild game.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is he a Dallas fan overall or just a Stars fan?
He's a Dallas fan overall. He's allowed to be.
Is he from there?
He's from Texas.
Okay. I got no beef.
And he's one of those cool Dallas fans that isn't a jerk off.
Right.
You know, he's real cool about it. He doesn't rub it in your face. If he's like genuinely excited for, you know, players we got in the draft and how good the Phillies are doing. But yeah, he loves the Texas Rangers, the baseball team.
Houston. Houston?
No, the Rangers.
Oh, the Rangers.
Texas Rangers.
Texas Rangers.
Oh.
The Giants, not the Giants, the Cowboys. So, you know, he's a huge, you know, Dallas fan.
You guys excited for what happened in the NFL? Like the draft and everything?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And mark my words, I'll say it right now. Miles Sanders will be Rookie of the Year.
Really?
Yes.
Ooh.
So we're taking bets already.
Miles Sanders will be Rookie of the Year. I think he is the steal of the draft for the Eagles.
No shit.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
No shit.
Oh, yeah.
Huh.
This guy was good enough to compete with Saquon Barkley. The only reason he didn't play was because of Saquon Barkley. But as soon as Saquon got drafted, he had the starting job, and he showed the same exact skill sets as Saquon did. Because he played with him. He trained with him.
I don't watch a lot of college football, and I always say that's because if I did, I'd get divorced because Sunday is pro, and if I took away
And if you took Saturday
too,
as well, yeah,
it'd
I
be
understand.
But is he going to get the ball enough to be featured enough with them picking up the Chicago
Jordan Howard.
Is he going to get enough carries and touches to put up a Rookie of the Year type campaign?
I think once they see what he can do, what he gives to that offense, I think he will. I think he'll be your starting back, and you'll have Jordan Howard as your short down, your goal line back, and then you still got Sproles and Clement for your passing backs.
I thought Sproles was done after last season.
He wanted to come back for another season.
Okay.
He wanted to have a full season playing.
Do you think it was a smart move from them to bring back Deshaun?
Absolutely.
You think so?
He still has the speed to burn cornerbacks.
As long as he can run fast.
So you don't know too much about football. I'll explain it to you real quick. So when you have a guy like Deshaun Jackson who can burn cornerbacks, he's always going to have over-the-top protection or help from the safety on the other team.
Okay.
Which leaves a guy missing from the middle so we can hand the ball off and we can have good running room in the middle. So when you have a guy like Deshaun, you get that advantage in the running game. Now you got somebody like Jordan Howard and Miles Sanders who you're making that safety stay in the middle and give support to the running back because at any time they can just break it free. So now that safety staying in the middle and guarding the back, and you have Deshaun who's burning your cornerback and is standing in the back of the end zone with the football.
Oh, shoot. It sounds like a Super Bowl team.
The roster is really stacked. If Carson Wentz can be Carson Wentz of 2 years ago, no reason they can't go.
I think the NFL just gave our offense, we're in the top 3 for most powerful offenses in the NFL this year.
No shit.
Yeah.
And then D's looking pretty good as well. You got Fletcher Cox, and who is the kid they just got?
Well, they got Malik Jackson.
That's who.
They got him from the Jaguars.
Yep.
Still unsure what's going to happen with Chris Long. But Derek Barnett is going to be back. Brandon Graham's back. And we got some studs in free agency. We got the number 3 rated linebacker in all of last year.
That's crazy.
So I don't remember if we talked about this on air, or if we talked about it off or on air.
Okay.
You brought it up last week. Fantasy Football League for the Might Be News Network.
I don't know if we were supposed to drop that bomb yet.
You know what? Taylor ain't here. Bombs are getting dropped. There will be a Might Be News Fantasy Football League. I'm pumped up.
I'm so excited. I love fantasy football.
I love fantasy, and what I love most is a draft. I love getting in the room and talking shit and doing a fantasy football draft.
I've never taken part. I've
Dude, it's so
never
much
once
fun.
taken part.
Listen,
You're going
people rent out restaurants. Like they'll rent out tables at PJ's or Buffalo Wild Wings
And sit there and do a draft?
to host a draft party.
Huh.
Well, if we don't have to go that far. We can do my basement. You guys were in my basement. I had that TV on the wall.
I will be Ubering.
Do it. Absolutely do it.
You want to split an Uber?
Absolutely. I mean,
I'll project the draft board up onto my TV. I've done it before, and we're going to have a great time. I think that's something that we're going to be able to videotape for the Patreon page, and people will enjoy the hell out of that.
That'll be fun.
That'd be a lot of fun.
Are we going to record like this too? Or are we going to be on?
I think
doing a podcast.
You know, that's up in the air. We still got a couple months to
put the camera in the back of the room and let's have a blast with it.
Put a GoPro in the corner. And
buddy.
let it go. My dog will be walking through it. Be like, what the fuck is that dog doing? So we kind of drifted away from hockey. I have a hockey related story. And Kev, I don't know if you saw this.
Okay.
Dietz and Watson, the deli.
Okay.
Just put out a new store on, I think it's on South Street.
Okay.
It's like a clothing store. They have different stuff.
Really?
But what they released is something that if anybody got some of this, hit your boy up because I need to get a jar of it. They came out with gritty sauce.
No shit.
I saw that.
Did you see the gritty
did see
sauce? So they have this little sauce. It's, you know, you've seen like the Dietz and Watson mustard jars.
Yeah.
Like the little plastic jar.
Yeah.
They have gritty sauce. And it's sriracha aioli. Which
If you find out where the store is, I'm in South Philly 3 times a week.
The rumor was that they sold out. I didn't hear that it was definite.
Okay.
It was, you know, a very limited release. But my question for you and for all of you is, where do you think gritty sauce came from?
I was really into it until you brought that up.
Does it make you want to
knowing
try?
Gritty's personality, I can almost bet where it came from.
I love the whole Gritty thing. The way Gritty is on the internet, his Twitter feed.
Dude, he's a Philadelphia Flyers fan
The
to
videos,
the fullest.
They're great.
So when he was first, introduced, we talked about it on the show.
Yeah.
And I wasn't too welcoming to him. But Gritty is such a badass. He was just rated the #1 mascot in all of sports.
It's because he's dope.
And he's the shit.
Yeah.
He's made like that mascot thing so much fun.
Yeah.
Watching him tackle little kids, the mites on ice in between periods, I could watch that for hours.
Oh, that's funny. That is funny.
So I got one other story, and it involves a classic childhood game, Uno.
Okay. We still
Everybody
play in our
remembers
house.
Uno. You still play a little
Yeah.
Uno. I'll ask you this. I lay down a draw 2.
Yeah.
It's coming your way.
Yeah.
You've got a draw 2 in your hand.
Yeah.
Can you stack it?
Yes.
No.
What?
The
Uno
makers
says-
of Uno
I saw this.
say no. You cannot stack a draw 2 or a draw 4.
That's bullshit.
If somebody hands
They're
you
wrong.
a draw 2, you got to draw 2.
You gotta
can't
draw
stack
two.
They
them.
are wrong.
That's-
How can you stack skips if you stick Jesus
Oh,
Christ.
boy.
How can you stack skips and you can stack reverses, but you can't stack draw 2s?
I'm not saying I disagree with you. I think a draw 2, a draw 4, a draw 8, I think you could stack that shit up until people got more cards in their hands than they can hold. I'm just telling you what the makers of Uno have stated on Twitter.
Yeah, they tweeted it, right?
They tweeted it because it's 2019. We
Yep.
got to tweet on the rules of a game.
Dude, it was always when it was down to the last 2 people and you had 3 draw 2s and 2 reverses in your hand, you went out automatically.
You won.
You
You're
won.
out.
Yeah. Now
I
I'm
think it's-
hearing differently.
I think it's a
Now
lot of
we're
the
hearing
fun with
differently.
Uno is that there's house rules involved. That's kind of like the cool part.
I'm not allowed to play Uno in my house.
Why?
What's
My
the story behind
life is very competitive.
this? Yeah.
Very competitive.
Tell her not to come over
could
to the
imagine.
Kinderman household.
So Uno, board games, nope, not in the Charlone
Dude,
house.
9 times out of 10, board games or card games of some sort end in tears in our house.
Oh yeah. It ends with a fuck this game, I'm not playing with you anymore.
So what other games do you have that have house rules, like stacking the draw 2s? I know the big one for us is Monopoly and the free parking. Whatever money is in the center of the table, if you land on free parking, you're allowed to scoop that up. It's not a rule. It's not in the game. You can't find it, but that was our house rule for Monopoly.
See, the big games that we used to play, I haven't played in years, were always house house game kind of games, like Spoons. Do you remember Spoons?
I remember hearing it. I've never played it myself.
Spit. Do you remember Spit?
Don't remember Spit.
Wow. I'm looking like
Am I
an
the only
asshole
one?
over here.
It sounds familiar. It's a card game, right?
Right.
Yeah, I played Spit before.
Yeah.
Okay,
They were
so
like
it's-
house rule games, and you only went off of the rules that the person taught you.
The one I learned like
One,
that was
2, 3, spit.
Yeah.
And whoever, when a jack, it's called jacks, right?
No. Spit was where it was almost like solitaire, but you had your cards, one pile on the left to a larger pile on the right, and you flipped over cards, and you had to match them up to the center cards in the center. Nothing.
No, I never played that way.
the one I learned I call it by rote. The one I learned with no rules in front of me was called Euchre. You ever heard of Euchre?
Yeah,
Never heard of it.
It's these game. It's from the Midwest. All these Midwest guys that I used to teach when I used to do the percussion stuff, we'd be on the bus and they would whoop our ass at this euchre game because they played it from birth. And I couldn't tell you any of the rules, but I just know it was kind of like that. You just learned from somebody telling you. It was like, I don't even know if it was a real game or they just made it up just to fuck with us.
So I was sitting down with my brother-in-law, Amy's younger brother, one night, and there was a group of us at the table. And he was like, "You want to play a card game?" I was like, "Sure." Well, we all like card games. And he starts playing this card game. And I was like, "Well, what's the rules?" And this is a card game that he took. He's an Eagle Scout. And he took it from Boy Scouts, where you are not allowed to tell the rules. You just have to figure out the rules as you're playing. Have you heard of this game, Dan?
No.
I know you're an Eagle Scout.
I am an Eagle Scout, and I haven't heard of it.
Dude, by the end of this game, fucking 5 minutes into this game, I wanted to punch this kid in the face.
That's the way euchre is. They're not allowed to tell you the rules. You just learn by watching
Playing.
what they do,
Right.
and getting yelled at, and they say you can't do that.
Yep.
You can't do that.
Yes.
Yeah.
But then you also, at the end of the game that we were playing with him, to go out, you had to say the name of the game. But he wasn't allowed to tell you the name of the game.
So you had to lose to learn the name of the game.
Right.
But what was the name of the game?
I don't remember.
I wonder if it was euchre. Maybe
might
it was
have
the
been.
same game.
Maybe it was the same guy.
I'm super
Dude,
frustrated just listening about it.
Dude, I bet
I couldn't handle it.
I bet you I could text him right now and say, "What's the name of that game from Boy Scouts?" He'd be like, "I'm not allowed to tell you."
Oh, that's
That's
funny.
awesome.
But if he says euchre, that would really trip me out.
Yeah, that's funny. That's
is
funny.
funny.
I'm going to text him.
Is he a Midwest guy?
No. He born and raised Downingtown.
So in our time space continuum, it is Friday,
Yes.
which means Mother's Day is in 2 days. You guys ready for it?
I am ready for it.
Not yet.
Not yet.
I was going to go out tonight after work. I was going to take the boys with me and everything. And Amy was like, "Well, I got a bridal shower tomorrow from 12 until 4. So I'll go out tomorrow with the boys." And
Yeah,
get
I'm going out
everything done.
tomorrow.
Gotcha. So let me tell you how pissed off I am at my wife.
Oh, yeah. We saw this on Facebook.
I'm still not over this. So she sends me, I'm at work. She sends me a text and she goes, "I'm so stupid." And I said, "Well, what did you do?" She said, "A package came to the house today, so I opened it up." Now, going back a little bit, a few days ago, I accidentally, hand quote, accidentally ordered the world's largest and loudest Bluetooth speaker. Accidentally. This thing is the shit, dude. Let me tell you.
How big is it?
Dude, it's fucking huge. It's like it's a big boom box.
Is it the diamond box?
It's a bump box.
A bump box.
I'll show you photos.
Okay.
So I accidentally ordered this bump box, and I plan on using it for my brother's softball tournament, and also for hanging out outside with the kids, and that type of stuff. This is the bump box. Now listen,
That's dope.
it's huge. Like you have to carry it on your shoulder. It comes with a carry strap. It's so big.
It's like 90s.
Yeah, it's
That's awesome.
comes with a wireless mic and everything.
It comes with LL Cool J
Yeah.
inside.
Yeah, he'll press the
Looks like
buttons
it.
for you. So I told my wife, this was Thursday that this happened. I told her, I said, "I'm so excited. Some of your Mother's Day gifts are coming, and I want to make sure that I'm here in case they're not fully wrapped. I don't want you to see what they are." Well, I had to go to work, and the package got delivered while I was at work. And then she sent me that message.
I can't
That
believe she opened.
Jerk.
So, like, my name was on the package. And I just told her, I was
That's
like,
a
you got
federal offense.
package is coming today. And she goes, yeah, I opened up a box. I thought it was your bump box. I was going to take a picture and send it to you. And it wasn't. It was a Mother's Day gift. Man, I was so mad.
The wild card strikes again.
Yeah, right.
Listen, like, I take these holidays very seriously, and I always overdo it. And that's just because I love doing that. And then she sent me that message, and I was like, damn it, now I got to make up for it and get her another present because she knows what it is.
But you got to
That's
return.
her fault.
You got to return it though.
I don't want to though, because
Are we allowed to know what it is?
yeah, well, actually, we
she's not
can
gonna
talk
hear it
about
until
it. She's not gonna
Monday,
hear about it until
so,
Monday.
yeah.
So it's this comforter I found, and it's called the Coma Inducer Comforter.
Is it one of those
Nice.
weighted?
I don't know if it's weighted,
Oh, okay.
but it's for like it's for a king size bed, but it's called an oversized king. So this thing is like monstrous, and it's called a coma inducer.
So
That's
it's called a blanket, but it's actually
it's gonna kill you.
a baseball
I'm
bat.
trying to kill my wife.
that's actually John's nickname too. Which is the funny
the coma inducer. But yeah, so like I'm excited to check it out too. But
You guys have a king size bed?
yes,
So we have a king size bed too, and everything that you buy is like just a little too short.
yep,
Side to side.
not just big enough. Like
Mhm.
you can't even tuck the comforter in
Right.
because it won't reach the side of the mat. You don't got to worry about that. You guys sleep with different blankets, right?
Yeah, we don't share blankets because
It's so
Because
funny.
it's so weird.
yeah.
That is so funny.
Wait a second. I don't know about this. I want to get into this
Oh.
after the break.
All right, we'll talk
I
about
want
it.
I want to hear about this.
Okay.
So after the break, we're going to hear about John and his dual blankets, evidently.
Yep.
So
We'll recap. We did this on a previous show.
Okay,
Yeah.
we won't keep it long.
Yeah.
but I want to hear about it. We'll be back after this.
Loud, brash, controversial, and now completely uncensored. Foundation Radio is joining the Might Be News Network. Foundation Radio, exclusively on the Might Be News Network podcast. Just search Might Be News Network to listen and subscribe on iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, and everywhere podcasts are found. New episodes every other Thursday.
All right, welcome back to Might Be News. It's tough to put the N in there because I'm like, welcome back to Might Be News. Keep checking.
You're
us
on
out.
our show, dude.
I said it. I know I'm on your show. I'm the one that got the intro and hopped all over that. But we do want you to listen to all the other shows on the Might Be News Network.
Not really, actually. Just listen to
I
Might
won't
Be.
listen to everybody.
Yeah, you know what? Relatable radio, they're getting a little cocky over there. Have you been listening to the way that they talk about their show and put down everybody else's show?
Yeah.
Well,
They're like, oh, we want you to go on and listen to the shows, but make sure it's our show.
so I'm producing Relatable Radio on Sunday.
Just hit the delete button by accident.
If there's one,
I
There's
wish we
one
could make
show-
a sounder for our wives.
ooh, I don't even want to know how that would turn out. But it's almost like a Steve takeover week,
There you go.
really, than
Yeah.
anything. Because
There you go.
I
I gotta
produce
say,
sports.
yeah,
I produce sports. I didn't do anything with Novak and Franz. CJ, shout out, nice job. CJ did produce Novak and Franz the past episode. So I'm here tonight. I'm here on Sunday with Relatable Radio.
Steve Takeover Week. I gotta say, man, I'm super impressed. Every little thing that's popped up, you figured it out, you handled it. I think Taylor would be really proud.
Like I said a couple times on sports, don't be impressed until the episode is on the internet.
Right?
Once that bridge is crossed, then we'll talk about how good or bad of a job I've done. That's what I'm worried
That's
about.
the difficult part.
But keep checking out all the shows. Listen for me on Tuesday's episode. It'll be out on Tuesday of Relatable Radio. So speaking of Relatable Radio, this could be something that people could relate to. Sleeping arrangements with your significant other.
I just can't stand sharing sheets. Like, especially somebody like me, I'm constantly hot and cold. and taking a little bit of covers off, putting them back on throughout the night. But I just can't imagine sharing. So like we kind of got smart early on and we're like, let's not share covers and get our own, blankets. And we have our own separate blankets.
There you go. That's pretty smart.
So how does that work when you make the bed? Do you ever make your bed?
Not really.
We don't make our bed a whole lot.
Yeah, if we do, just mine usually goes on top because mine kind of matches. Hers is just like a plain brown comforter, but mine's got like, all the designs in it that looks nice and matches like
You
the
like your
fancy
shit
pillows.
pretty.
Yeah.
You like your shit pretty.
Okay.
So I heard something the other day. You asked about making beds, and I've always went with, until I heard this one day, I've always went with, why are you going to make your bed if you're just going to mess it back up the next day? That's what I've always gone with.
Absolutely.
But then I heard, why are you going to wipe your ass if you're just going to shit again in a couple hours?
We make our bed every morning.
Every morning?
Every morning. Like pillows on top, tuck it in, everything. Every morning.
Is that part of the competitiveness?
No, it is just it feels more happy and welcoming walking in to
a
your
made
bedroom and it's made.
Yeah.
I will
agree.
agree with that at bedtime. At bedtime, it's much nicer to get into a made bed than an unmade bed.
Yeah.
That's how my wife is.
Yeah.
All right, how about tucked or untucked for like your sheets and stuff?
Tucked at the bottom, but not on the sides. Because we talked about the king bed thing. The stuff really doesn't have enough length on it to get tucked on the sides.
No, I disagree with that because I pull out my sides so I can let my feet hang out.
I call it the regulator. I pull out that one side and that foot comes out.
Yep.
It's the one foot.
Yep.
John's the sock guy.
Yeah, half sock. You do that too, right, Kev?
Yeah, absolutely.
And
Take
you
the
know,
socks off
I
halfway.
thought about this.
That's
I
weird.
thought about this and I called you guys weird for it and I take it back.
Did you do it?
Because I was doing it with my shoes the other night.
Right.
I popped my shoes off. So like my heels aren't in, but my
Yeah.
toes still are.
Right.
And I've also done it with my socks a few times. And I didn't realize I was doing it until I was like, oh shit.
Speaking of the regulator, it just reminded me there was this guy that I knew, and he would wear stocking caps in the winter, but he cut a hole in the top so that it would let like extra hot air and your head wouldn't get too hot. He
wanted,
was
like-
I invented this. This is called the regulator. It was,
It's genius though.
it is
It's like a
kind of.
visor for the winter.
Yeah, it's genius.
Crazy. So here's one that I tripped out when somebody at work told me this, that her and her significant other don't have a side of the bed.
Well, they
that
just
would
switch.
bug the
They
shit
just,
out of me.
whoever gets in there
No
first,
way.
whatever
No.
side. Can you imagine?
That would bug the shit out of
I
me.
can't even fathom
Nope.
it.
No.
Dude, I travel a lot. Like I was just in a hotel room for a few nights with a king size bed by myself, and I slept on my side of the bed. That's just the way it is.
Totally.
Yeah.
When I was in Florida, I did the exact same
I
thing.
can't imagine.
And you know, I'm thinking of myself right now. Every place we've lived, we've both still had the same side of the bed.
Yep.
See,
That's
ours
so weird.
No, with me and Amy, ours have switched.
I've switched before.
Really?
Yeah.
That's even more bizarre. How do
No.
you- what makes the switch?
When we move to a different place, she always wants me closest to the door in case anybody breaks in, which I understand.
Kev,
I
you
get
ain't gonna
that.
do shit though.
Fuck that, dude. Fuck that. My gun's right there, dude. Gun is right there.
I'd rather have Taylor try to protect me.
That's the nicest thing anybody said about him tonight.
All right. Well, that's some good relatable content. Let's get into what's the point.
What's the point?
Is there a point to this? What is your
Are
point?
you just gonna sit there and look stupid?
All right, Kev, what's our point this week?
So I saw this news story that I wanted to talk about. This Georgia mom went to a consignment shop, shopping around, and she found a box of Legos, like just a Lego set that you can build and everything. It's completely sealed in plastic, looked brand new. She says, cool, I'll get it for my kid. Brings it home. They open it up and they go to start building it. They dump out the containments of the box, and inside the box is $40,000 of meth in the Lego box.
Like Breaking Bad,
Like Breaking Bad.
Walter White.
Yes.
meth.
So was it actually meth, or was it meth that was in the shape of Legos?
No, it was actually meth.
That sounds like a really good way to smuggle meth.
No, but like I'm being serious.
Okay.
You hear about people that are taking regular candy and they're lacing them with drugs.
Yeah.
You can lace anything with drugs. You can
Right.
make that into like a candy and lace it with meth.
No, yeah, it was a sealed bag of crystals to hide the scent, and it was in the Lego box that was wrapped in plastic that was purchased at a consignment shop. And they called the cops. The cops went to the consignment shop to see what was going on, and the consignment shop believed that they got it from a purchased storage unit. So no charges were pressed, but I thought it was just a wild story that I had to talk about.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
Have you ever had any kind of situation like that?
Where I'd
you've-
done meth? No.
You know, like, have you ever found money like in an apartment that you moved into, or like come across anything like that?
I never have. Have you?
No. I was just trying to make good conversation. I don't know.
There's nothing like a no to kill a conversation.
You know, there's stories like that all the time on the radio where it's like, oh, so and so moved into this house and
And
in
found
their attic there was-
$150,000.
The
Did you ever find $150,000, Kev?
I wish.
I feel like we would have heard that story already on the podcast.
I'd be driving in a Lambo.
The only thing we ever found that when we moved into our apartment in Westchester, we found a picture. It was a portrait of a black lady in our closet. It was about like an 8x10
In your house?
in our apartment. We rented
Okay.
it before we bought our house. We lived in an apartment in Westchester, Heather Glen Apartments, and we found this picture of a black lady in our closet. But it was like from the 50s. Like it was
weird.
It was really weird. We called it the Black Lady Closet for the entire time that we lived there. And when we moved out, we left the
left
picture
it there?
there. We left it there.
That's
Wow.
crazy.
That's the,
Dude, I got a crazy story, and it involves Buddha, Taylor, and his old roommate Matt Crow when they were living in Coatesville.
Right.
Do you remember? Do you know where I'm going with this?
No, I don't think so.
So they lived on Belmont Street in Coatesville, 6 in Belmont, like the straight hood.
Yeah, that's bad.
It's straight hood.
just so you know, I grew up on 6th and Walnut.
Okay,
So I was straight up at the top of the hill.
straight hood.
Straight hood?
But I guess they thought that their house was haunted, like straight up haunted. And they were sitting there. You'd have to ask him, but they were sitting there talking about previous owners and everything else. And they were just wondering what they would be like. And they went over to this drawer one day after I'm pretty sure it was one day after they were being there for a while. And they opened it up and there was a photo album in the drawer of the people that lived there.
Nice. I love those kind of stories.
Crazy.
So I found a wad of money in my house.
Was it yours?
No. So this was.
Where were you at with the last conversation?
I was waiting.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I was waiting. I didn't want to interrupt.
It's true.
You guys were both telling legit stories, so
Go ahead.
I'm being
sorry.
polite, you asshole.
Sorry.
No, it was our closet by the bathroom, so it was like the pantry. We held all the towels in it and toilet paper and that type of stuff. And for some reason, I just happened to reach up to the overtop the door. I think I was looking for a key to unlock the bathroom. You know how they have
Right.
those like
Yeah.
those small keys. And I found something, and it was a money clip with $350 in it.
Get
Wow.
out of here. Dude, that's balling.
It was a money clip, $350.
What did you use it on? Groceries.
So
Hookers and cocaine.
I don't know if Allison was pregnant at the time or if she had Blake. So I'm sure it went to either bills or groceries or
Gotcha.
something like that.
That's boring.
But I definitely did not. Yeah, I definitely did not reach out to my landlord and be like, "Hey, did you happen to leave a wad of money in here?"
What amount of money would it have had to have been for you to say, hey, did you leave any money?
Oh, there is
here?
no amount.
No.
sir.
No amount?
No, there's
There's no
no
amount.
amount. Oh no.
Finders keepers.
I'm just checking.
Nope.
Losers, weepers.
No. There's no amount.
Okay.
No,
Because
dude.
listen, if it was significant enough to be like something worth reporting, they'd be there looking for it.
Absolutely.
They would know that it's missing.
Absolutely.
So if I find it, nope, I'm not.
Would there be an
nobody.
amount for you?
No.
No. Why'd
There'd be
you ask the question?
Different people have different different thoughts on the matter.
Money's money.
It all spends.
So I got a quick story. I was walking into a Burger King. It was next door to my office,
Okay.
and I'm walking in like I did way too many times. And I'm just looking down, and I see $100 on the ground, $100 bill. So I just grab it without thinking, and I walk in to order, and I hand it to the person across the counter, and I say, I just picked this up. I don't know whose it is, but I'm giving this back. And it was like a folded up bill. They opened it up, and it wasn't even a real $100 bill. It was like an advertisement for a rapper.
Oh,
But I was like trying to do the nice thing where I was like, I'm not going to look around and see who's watching me or anything. I'm just going to return this and do the right thing.
You're like one of those
such
guys
a
on,
nice guy.
like on
And it-
2020 or something. What would you do?
Yeah.
You're such a nice guy, John. That shit would have, dude. I would have been like, "Yup, big come up, stuff it in my pocket real quick, get to the
like
store."
Burger King. This would give me so many Whoppers.
Kev is getting cheese on his Whopper. Is that your point, John, or did you have a different point?
No, I guess what I'll talk about is I haven't seen the It movie, but you guys on the Might Be News Facebook page posted a video of the It 2 trailer, and it looks absolutely wild. First thing I'll say, Jessica Chastain, I absolutely love her.
She's smoking.
There's like her and Amy Adams, and there might be a third one I can't think
Amy
of.
Adams. Oh, she
But
is hot.
There's another redhead. It's the
The Jurassic
Howard.
Park?
Yes,
Yeah.
Howard.
Bryce
Bryce Dallas
something Howard. Yeah, Bryce
Howard.
Dallas Howard.
Yeah, love her. Both of them, I'm just absolutely in love with them.
The fact that she's Ron Howard's daughter is
Yeah.
weird.
It is weird.
Ron Howard, the porn star.
No.
the guy from Happy Days.
Who am I thinking of?
I have no idea.
Ron Jeremy. Never
Ron
mind.
Jeremy.
That was way off.
First name Ron.
We really
You do porn?
we really spiraled quickly on that one. The porn guy? No, I'm talking about Opie.
But no, I was watching the trailer, and of course I love her, but it got so creepy with the old lady, and then I don't know, the Pennywise, the dude.
Yeah.
He just moves in this creepy way. And it was really creepy at first, and then the second time he walked across the screen, it cracked me up. It looked like he was doing a little dance or something.
I'm gonna have to watch the trailer for this.
But yeah, you got to watch it. But I'm actually excited now. I want to go back and watch the not the first one, but the remake that was out a couple years ago.
Hype on it.
Yeah, it looks
Hype on it.
really really cool.
It's good.
I'm wondering if I'll wait and just watch them back to back.
Back to back.
That's a commitment.
That is.
It's
a
like
lot of-
no, it's
a lot of
3
things.
hours, 3-4 hours.
It's like
max.
one Avengers movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Danny, do you watch Game of Thrones?
I do not.
Man, I'm the only one. We can't even talk Game of Thrones on the show.
Nope.
Can't.
You
Moving
can get
on.
out of here with that.
Out of here. Danny, what's your point?
I wanted to talk about the Cubs fan who has been banned for life from going to Cubs games because he flashed a white power symbol on TV.
White power.
It is not the white power symbol. I don't know where this bullshit came from, but there is no white power symbol associated with the fucking circle game. We're talking about the circle game we all used to play back in the day. You hold a circle with your 3 fingers in a
It's kinda like
downward
OK.
motion. It's the OK symbol,
but down it,
but it's
below your
down,
waist.
and you
Below the
hold it
waist.
below your waist, exactly where this kid was holding it on TV, and that means whoever sees that, they get to punch them.
Unless
If you finger
Unless
their
you put your
hole.
finger
unless
in
you
the hole. All right?
or if you break it.
Ain't nobody was fingering that guy's hole.
No.
But
Not on
Okay.
TV.
also, if you catch the finger, you get to punch them.
Yes.
So
Finger and holes.
for some reason, the media is complete. I feel so bad for this guy.
How old is he? Old?
So they did find out who it was, but I don't think they released all of his information yet because he looks like he's young. But to just do something so simple like that, which had no bad meaning, and for the media to just spin it the way they did, and now ban him from life for Cubs games, fuck out of here, man.
Without knowing the guy's intention, it's really shocking that they're going to do that.
Yeah.
That's kind of like an extreme that they jump to without.
It's a really, really far extreme.
And it's crazy. Like I haven't heard of the white power hand gesture at all before this.
Yeah, it's just come into the lexicon in the past, not even year. I feel like that's all of a sudden become that symbol. But for them to take the circle game from us is complete bullshit.
Yeah, I don't know how it became that or when it did, but it's not. People, chill the fuck out.
So my point this week was just going to be a quick one about Mother's Day. We kind of talked about it a little bit. I hope everybody is in the time-space continuum. I hope you have already done great stuff for the mothers in your life. Happy Mother's Day to my wife, to my mom, my mother-in-law. I got real lucky with everybody. They're all great mothers, and hope all the mothers had a great Mother's Day.
That's awesome. I'll tell you what, man. I feel the same way about my wife. She's an incredible mom, and I'm just super lucky. Like I guess you don't have any idea what you're doing when you become a parent.
Zero. And
she just owned it and did it, and I feel like our kids are not psychopaths yet because of her.
Yeah, I
if it was
feel
up
the
to
same
me,
way.
They'd be a fucking wreck.
There's still time.
Yeah,
there's still time.
So I just said this to Allison the other morning. She had to go to work during the week in the morning, which is pretty rare for her. But she still got up extra early and she made the kids lunches. And I said, I don't know how you do this every day. Our kids are such picky eaters.
Yeah.
And she makes their lunches every day. And I'm like, man, I give you a lot of credit because I wouldn't be able to do this. So I may pick on her. I was saying how mad I was that she opened that package. I know she did it innocently. She was excited for me because I was getting that speaker. It was an innocent thing, but she is, I lucked out.
Does she look through your phone too?
She could if she wanted to.
Yeah, she's still a jerk though for opening it.
No,
I think that's kind of a weird.
Come on, Kev. Can I get a sounder? No, don't worry about
just
it.
Because I don't want to be here another 15 minutes while I set up the sounder.
But no, I mean, I lucked
Saved.
out. I lucked out.
Come on, Kev. Hint, fucking hint. Come on, Kev. Great job as always, Danny.
Nice.
Thanks.
There, I gave you a live sounder.
Awesome. So I lucked out with her, being the mother to my kids. She's a fantastic mom. So I hope you have a wonderful Mother's Day, Allison.
Awesome.
Dude, I'm right there with him. I mean, dude, I am 100% right there with him because if I didn't have Amy to be my other half in this parenting thing, oh, dude, I would lose my fucking mind. I would lose my fucking mind. And I still do time to time, but dude, she keeps me on even ground. She keeps me level-headed. She puts me in my place when I need to be put in my place. And she does a fantastic job with these boys. I mean, if I was raising these boys by myself, I don't know enough
kids would be fucked up. I wouldn't want to know what my kids look like,
So shout out to all our moms out there. Let's get into our late review. Let's bring it the other way. Let's start with Danny. What do we got for a late review?
I watched Bohemian Rhapsody.
Oh shoot! I wanted to see this.
Yeah, so I wasn't as happy with it as I was hoping to be.
Okay.
And I think my problem was I was looking for Freddie Mitchell. He got bullied throughout school.
Freddie Mercury.
Freddie Mercury. I'm sorry.
Is this about the Eagles?
Yes.
Former Eagles wide receiver?
Freddie Mercury. He was bullied throughout school for the way he looked with his extra teeth.
Yeah, they just kind of
they just kind of bypassed
skipped
that
right over that. Mm-hmm.
You legit had extra teeth?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Is that what it is? I mean, he's got a weird overbite.
That's why he's got the overbite, because he's
I
got
didn't catch
extra
that.
incisors or something
Yeah, an
like
extra
that.
one on each side, which pushes everything.
Okay.
Which gives
out.
him the vocal range that he has.
Oh, no
Oh
shit.
wow!
So
That's
he
why
was,
he didn't want to get him fixed.
he was bullied in school because of this. And they really didn't touch on that. Also, every time that he wrote a new song, they played like a 15-second snip of that song being played.
Mhm.
I wanted the whole song.
Yeah.
when he created, like, play that whole song for me. And I felt like it jumped too fast from times in his life. Like, they could have put another hour on that movie and I would have been happy.
Right.
So I wasn't too happy with it. I give it a 6.
So now we talked about this before the show. I had a point to kind of go off of that. I was going to bring it up in news, but I figured here would be a good spot to bring it up. What did you think of the guy that played Freddie Mercury? Raheem Malik, I want to say is his name. I might be saying that.
Remy.
I think
Remy, something like that.
Yeah.
I thought he did a pretty good job.
So did he win the Academy Award? I don't remember.
He did, but he didn't sing these parts.
That's exactly where I'm going. So I don't know if you saw, there's a new movie coming out about Elton John.
Okay.
Basically,
Yeah,
looks
I
like
did
the
see
same
this.
kind of thing. It's called Rocket Man. The guy that's playing Elton John is doing the singing.
Oh, wow.
And I like this guy a lot.
Ooh.
So that to me is ballsy.
Yeah, so when I heard he didn't sing these songs, so the guy that did sing all the songs for Bohemian Rhapsody, I actually watched him on YouTube before he was, got the role.
Oh, was it that guy?
It's the guy that covers
He's always doing Queen songs.
Always. And he sits
kills
there.
it.
He's like he's in his living room, it looks like.
Yeah.
It's him.
Wow. I didn't realize he did the vocals for the movie.
all the vocals for that.
Wow.
Because that guy's incredible.
Yeah.
Sounds
you know
just
exactly
like him.
who I was talking
Yep.
about. Yep.
The YouTube videos.
Yeah. So he did
Wow.
all the vocals for it, and Remy, or however you say his name, he just did the acting.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I saw that right after I did see that movie, and I saw it right after A Star Is Born. And I kind of compared the two together being like musical movies.
Okay.
And I really didn't care for the Queen movie all that much. I was like so like I guess like interested in the story of Freddie Mercury and like the background and all the weird stuff he was into and throwing these parties and the weird relationship with that lady and trying to come out to his parents, the whole deal. And I feel like it was all just kind of leading up to this Live Aid concert, which I thought was like a really cool thing to watch.
If you watch there's a YouTube video that is almost shot for shot.
Yep. I did see that
it's
YouTube
crazy
video.
how similar that is. And I remember Live Aid. I remember being pissed. I remember being pissed that my family wouldn't let me go to it. I was like 8. Like they were going to let me go to a concert. But I remember being pissed that I couldn't go to Philadelphia because it was in Philadelphia.
Sure.
I'm like, it's right down the take me. But I thought that was the coolest part. That Live Aid scene was my favorite part of the movie.
Yeah, I thought that was really neat, but I guess I liked A Star Is Born much better.
Cool. Well, while you're here, John, what's your point?
Well, my review, I guess.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
You can play the Steve screwed up sounder.
No.
How about your review?
You get a free pass, man. You're killing it over there behind the board. All right, quick review. I don't know if I'm sure nobody's heard of her. But there's this artist, Maggie Rogers, and probably the thing she's most well known for is there's a YouTube video of her at her school, like New York Art School or something like that, and it's a music class, and there's a YouTube's whatever you want to call it section of videos called Masterclass, and they bring in an actual recording artist to help and whatever work with these people. So these different students are playing their music for Pharrell, and then Maggie Rogers comes up and is playing her song for him, and he's just blown away.
I saw this. Yeah.
So that kind of first got me into it. That was her song Alaska. So she's put out a couple little EPs, but she finally, after this video went viral, she got signed to like a major record deal and made like an actual full-length album that includes some of her older songs. But I just am absolutely in love with her and her songs, and it's a weird genre of music. I would say it's something, and this is what she said actually in that YouTube video. Her background is folk. She's always done folk music, but she eventually, while in school, had this crazy experience overseas with like electronic music where she was like really into it, and she found it to be like a spiritual experience, and she's kind of married the two genres, she thinks, into her own thing. But for whatever reason, like I just absolutely love the entire album. We play it all the time in the house. The kids know all the songs. Just absolutely love it. So Maggie Rogers, heard it in a past life. I'm giving it a 10.
Ooh.
It is a perfect album to me. It's one of those ones that I'm probably going to listen to a few times a year for the rest of my life.
Going straight 10.
Always going. Yeah, it's amazing.
Awesome. I'll have to check it out.
Yeah.
Kev.
So, John,
Yo.
I went to sit down and start Game of Thrones.
Right?
Watched the first episode. I already did.
Yep.
So I started with the second episode.
Uh-huh.
And I got 20 minutes in. And I was like, I could be watching Entourage right now.
I love the way your wife tells this story on, what was it, Relatable Radio?
What's that?
She told this story where she was like, we're trying to get Kevin into Game of Thrones. He says he's going to go in the room to watch it.
Yeah.
I'm going to go in and watch it with him. And when I go to walk in the room, I hear the Entourage music playing. He's supposed to be watching Game of Thrones, and he gave up and started watching Entourage.
So, started watching Entourage, and I watched pretty much all of it in the last couple days, and I love it. That is, in my opinion, the best HBO series, hands down. Hands down.
Which one is Entourage?
It's with Vincent Chase, Aquaman. He's an actor. It's pretty much just following his life and his entourage of people. His brother, his turtle, his
drama,
his driver,
his brother,
Chase. His manager,
yeah.
And it just follows him and his entourage around, finding different movies and playing these movies and everything. It's awesome.
It's basically semi autobiographical of Mark Wahlberg, who's one of the producers.
Right.
Yep.
Right, exactly. But if I had to rate this series, since it's my second time watching it all the way through, I'd probably... No, Taylor, prepare yourself for this one. Probably give it like a 10.5.
Whoa.
So I like Entourage. I love Entourage. I love Entourage. The fact, and I don't watch Game of Thrones, so I'm not saying it's bad or good. I'm just going to say, in my mind, Game of Thrones doesn't exist. For you to put Entourage above The Sopranos is criminal.
I've never seen it.
You got it.
I've never seen that. I've never seen Sopranos.
That's what you need to go watch.
Okay.
Forget Game of Thrones and the dragons and weddings and shit. Sopranos is where it's at.
I'll have to give that a shot. I'll definitely have to give it. But I've never seen it.
I haven't seen it either.
You got
I hear great things.
So okay. Just for your sake, I'll lower Entourage to a 7.
You don't have to change your number.
No, a 9.75. I'll lower it to a 9.75 so I can put Sopranos, if it's good enough, at a 10.
I think you're gonna like The Sopranos.
All right.
I have a hard time with TV shows. All right, I've tried every time something got popular, I tried to watch it and I can't stick with it. I get bored. Breaking Bad. What was that show? Heroes.
You never finished Breaking Bad?
No, I got bored. Everything got predictable. I wasn't into it. I gave up on it. I don't have time for it. 2 shows that I love. Game of Thrones is one of them. The other is Entourage. That's a show that I watched every single one. Every episode made me happy. It pushed all the right buttons for me, and I loved it.
It was for it to be a half hour. You got in, you got out, you got what you wanted every episode. I agree. So for my late review, I just watched a show called The Perfect Bid on Netflix.
I haven't heard of it.
So I think it just came out. It's really a very current late review. So it's about this guy who was a Price is Right. The game show The Price is Right. A Price is Right freak.
Okay.
It's on Hulu.
Is it on Hulu as well as Netflix?
I've seen it.
They don't pay us.
No, they don't pay us.
See, I got that.
Steve,
too.
you're killing it,
lingo
man.
Coming at you.
Love it.
So this guy he'd watch the show. He would record in a spreadsheet all the prices of all the different stuff that came up.
I made a computer program.
He made a computer game to quiz him. Berkeline Lounger. That's $5.95, and he would have the exact prices. You know how if you're guessing at the start,
I mean,
contestant row,
he got on 3 times, right?
He went to 22 tapings,
Right,
before he got picked.
Okay.
So he was in the audience. They show him in the audience screaming the right prices to these people in contestant row, and they're winning the $100 because they're hitting the bids exactly on the nose.
Yep.
Wow.
So then he finally gets picked.
Mm-hmm.
He gets up front. He wins. He gets on stage. He wins his game.
Yep.
Exact. Everything exact.
Yeah.
Then he spins the big wheel, and he only got like 45 cents.
Oh,
Because that's all on chance.
So that's all on chance.
Yeah,
You're
right.
spinning this freaking wheel. And somebody beat him, so he didn't get a good chance to go to the showcase. And back then, Price is Right rules were once you were on,
You can't go on again.
you were done for life.
Right.
So he was still allowed to go to tapings, but he wasn't allowed to get picked.
wow. That poor guy.
But there's a but.
Okay.
They lifted it.
They lifted it.
Okay.
So he started going back. I won't spoil the end of it because the end is really, there's a twist to it.
Oh, wow.
I give it like a 7.5 and 8.
It was good.
Did you watch it?
Yeah. I saw
the
it.
twist at the end is great.
Does
Absolutely.
he give another guy a hand job?
I don't.
Yes.
Absolutely. Shit.
Spoiler twist that I'm looking
How'd you
for.
guess that, dude?
It's like the Netflix things. You either give somebody a hand job or a blow job, and that's the big Netflix twist in all the
That's the
documentaries.
Fire Festival.
So this was on Hulu.
Yeah.
And
That's where I
it's on
saw
Netflix as well.
It is on Netflix.
It is on Netflix.
Okay.
Perfect
Yeah.
bid.
And it's a movie.
It's a documentary.
It's a documentary. It's like an hour and a half.
Okay.
I like that
It's
stuff.
that length.
Quick, easy watch.
I might watch that tonight.
Yeah.
Get on it. Yeah.
Real quick,
Check
did
it
any of you guys watch The Push?
Yes.
The one I told you
Yes,
to?
I
What'd you
did.
guys all think?
Yeah, I talked about it on the show.
Yeah, you
It
did.
was
You did.
fucking
didn't you?
wild.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
wild.
It
Wasn't it
blew
cool?
my
Good.
mind.
Love
Dude,
that.
when he's carrying that body with the other guy, I was like, "Oh my god, what is this dude getting himself into?"
The trippy part to me was all the other people
Yes.
that they showed at the end and the ones that actually did it.
And most of them did. It was
I
crazy.
couldn't believe it.
I couldn't believe it either. It was such a crazy show.
All right, Kev. I'm not going to fire up the sounder. I'm
You're
gonna
not
put you right
firing
on
up
there.
the sounder, and
Nope.
I'm not ready as always.
Get right into it.
As
Come on, Kev.
Kev. Hint fucking hint.
Hint, fucking hint. May 14th,
Kev.
1904, the Olympic Games were held in the United States for the first time at St. Louis, Missouri. In St. Louis, Missouri. 1973, Skylab, the United States' first space station, was launched into orbit. May 15th, 1862, the U.S. Department of Agriculture was created by an act of Congress on this day. 1940, nylon socks went on sale for the first time in the United States. May 19th, 1962, Marilyn Monroe sings Happy Birthday to President John F. Kennedy.
Wow.
And tipped everybody off that she was banging them.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Kev, awesome job, man.
Thank you. Dude, I never get that. Dude, you're the new guy.
Is it me?
Yeah.
It's Taylor's at house, though. That's the tough part.
He can take a seat on the couch with Jackie.
Jackie and Finn and Taylor can just
Yep.
chill over there
Yeah,
and we'll do the
just-
show.
Yeah, sitting.
You can hear it in his voice when he's like, "You disgust me."
Dude, he looks like a penis.
That's hilarious.
John, great job, buddy. Good
Thanks,
to see
man.
you.
Dude, great job to you. I just am blown away that everything's going well. I mean, not like you couldn't do it, but I mean, everything's gone well. Everything that's popped up, you figured it out and fixed it. Killing it, man. The intro, I couldn't do the intro. Kevin messed the intro.
So many times.
I had to get all over the intro. That was my goal.
That was your goal.
One thing I had to
Well,
do.
you
was
killed
the
it,
intro.
man. Thank you.
Danny, great job.
Thank you. Now, Taylor's always nice to me. He's always good and has good things to say. So I will say, Taylor, I did miss you. And I can't wait till you're back.
Fuck 'em.
Steve, you killed it tonight. Good job, buddy.
All right. Thanks,
Proud of
guys.
you.
As always, check out all the shows on the Might Be News Network, MBNnetwork.com.
It's never been easier to find your favorite podcast.
And there it
Holy
is.
shit, dude. That sounded so professional.
Your
Wow.
voice is
We
like
just need to end on
velvet.
that note.
All right, guys. Thanks a lot. We'll see you.
Peace.
See ya.